How the work functions abstractly is as important to me when I'm designing a piece as how it looks in the viewing sphere, and that the color combination be interesting, that the overall shape and the interplay of colors be visually compelling, so that if you never looked in the sphere, it would feel complete in and of itself. And I think that's what adds to this, the element of surprise, that it looks complete, and then you step to the sphere and you see, oh, there's this whole other thing happening, and then your brain starts reeling and trying to make sense of what it's seeing in its abstraction, what it's seeing in the sphere. But really what it's showing is how subtle shifts in scale alter visual perception. And what I mean by that is that the shift in scale of a thread spool seen directly and seeing the viewing sphere is really minimal if you consider the potential for scale from the macrocosms to the microcosms. And yet what our brain and eye focuses on radically changes in this subtle scale shift from, abstract thread spools to the image in the viewing sphere. Once I've determined the exact scale, height, size, everything of the piece, check my inventory and arrange it numerically, lowest to highest. And by the time I put it all together, it takes hours and hours to get all these loose boxes in the right order. I pretty much have memorized where they are, which comes in handy later. And I print out my maps, and I just begin to play the biggest game of bingo ever. It's like 443 goes on 443, 592 goes on 592. But one of the fun things is you're not actually looking for numbers, you're looking for shapes. And you scan. You don't try to get every single 444, you just scan and get a variety, as many as is reasonable. And it becomes like a giant game. And I think I think people love to solve puzzles, and it becomes a giant puzzle to see how fast you can get it done, how efficient you can get it done, just to keep it challenging. After all the thread is assembled, I prepare the spools for threading by poking a hole in the top through the label and trimming any long tails, and then I string each column and hang it on the wall. How I got started with even thinking about it is I started compiling a list of objects, sculptural objects, that I thought were beautiful and had dignity in and of themselves, and thread spools rose to the top. Because it's beautiful and it comes in a range of colors and it's square-like a pixel, and that I didn't have to modify it to use it, and they're just the color saturation and the satin finish, and they're so appealing.